Hi everyone, this is Lord coming at you from the break zone with another deck tech video. This one going over the Water Lightning deck that Taylor Stanhke was able to pilot at the Last Chance Qualifier, also known as the Dark Crystal Cup, where he made top cut, then went on to make top 4, thus qualifying for the following day at the North America Championship, where he played and made top cut again, qualifying for day 2 of the North America Championship. And so that's 3 days straight of playing this deck. He made top 31, and then well, if you want to check out this deck, you'll be able to go on to the Square Enix Presents page, where we streamed at least one of his matches where he showcased it. It's a great deck, very fun. Something to keep in mind is that it's a Water Lightning deck, as I mentioned, that focuses on Vikings and Knights. The name of this deck is Night Kings. And if you'll notice though, there's the lightning package, but there's no Al Cid, so he was able to make a lot of room in order to fit in some of his Knights Engine packages in there. And let's go over some of the cards that got him to play 3 days straight of high competitive Final Fantasy trading card game. Okay, start off with Steiner. So in a similar way that people used Setzer, Gishani Empire Cid, getting one to the other into another Final Fantasy 6 character, Steiner and Eiko is the OG version, where Steiner is an EX burst. A little bit smaller, but does get bigger when you have a Final Fantasy 9 character, and that shouldn't be too hard with the fact that you're running Eiko, Zidane, and Beatrix. Alright, next up we've got Palestinian. There is a way to get him out actually. If you want to search for him, you have King of Burmecia as an EX burst. That's one of the reasons why you have 2 of them. And if you run into a stalemate, your opponent has big 4s that are hard to take care of. Estinian's going to be able to break through that stalemate. Keep in mind that his ability does not target, so as long as they block, the blocking forward will be broken. Next up, we've got Beatrix, who runs really well with Steiner, and she does get a little bit bigger. And she works also with some of the power reduction that you have in this deck, such as Selfridge and Cyclops. So go ahead and play all those knights and get that boost from Ovelia. Next up, we've got Layla, part of that Layla Vikings engine, and here's the Vikings to go along with it. Next up, we've got Zidane, who gets a little bit cheaper when you play Final Fantasy 9 characters. So if you get Eiko into Steiner into Zidane, you get some of the cards back too. You pay a 2 cost, 7,000 power that possibly can get you a card back. But if you want to, if you see that your opponent's holding on to 1 card in hand, you could go ahead and do that. Or you can just go ahead and activate all your Final Fantasy 9 characters. So keep in mind that's characters, not forwards. So you'll also be able to get your Eiko back into active state. Next up, we've got Cloud of Darkness, who works really well with the Layla Vikings engine whenever you're flooding the board. Which, well, the Steiner, Beatrix, Zidane, Layla Vikings package can definitely do that. You'll be able to count all of them and do a power reduction and possibly put an opposing forward into the break zone that way. Alright, next up we've got Ramza. So you're flooding the board. Guess what? Ramza is going to be able to take out, to get up to up to 10,000 power, meaning that he'll be able to break forwards of 3 CP or less that your opponent has, and also get that haste. So you'll be able to do a quick swing in and take it out. Keep in mind he's also a knight, so he's going to get that Ovelia boost as well. Right, next up we've got Illua, who is amazing, and also another power reduction effect that you have. Sometimes you want to just kind of swing in, get a couple points, or keep her there and be able to activate all of your forwards and give opposing forwards minus 2,000 power. Alright, Black Waltz is also a Final Fantasy 9 character if you haven't noticed, and can be pretty potent if your opponent has, if you're able to have enough cards in hand, more than 2 left after playing Black Waltz, and they have, let's say, a Thaumaturge, you'll be able to play Black Waltz and just straight put that into the break zone. And last but not least, we've got Assassin. So there's definitely times where you might want to pitch a lightning card, or you're running out of targets, and Assassin's one of them. Keep in mind that also, if you want to slightly slow down, well, I don't think it's going to be that great at slowing down Turbo Discard, but I could be wrong. I do see that it's in there, and you only run so many lightning cards in this deck, and that's definitely one of them. that you can put away. He counts as both standard unit as well as a Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced 2 character, so you actually have 2 searchers for her. You have both Brawn as well as a Sid of Clan Goalie, so that's something to keep in mind. Alright, next up we're going to go over some of the summons, starting off with Ramu, who is great against any kind of chest shenanigans, as well as taking out some of the forwards that your opponent might have. If they're playing Turbo Discard, they were able to slam down forward of 7,000 power or less, as well as a Jesper in one turn. If you keep a Ramu in hand and you're able to play it during their turn, you will be able to, when their forward is active, you will be able to break both the Jesper as well as a forward that they control. Okay. Next up, we got Selfridge, who's great against those overly aggressive decks. When they empty out their hand, and you currently don't have a forward out, well, a Selfridge can come in and just make them put one of theirs in the break zone while you don't have any, and you won't miss out on that. And last but not least, for the summons, we got Cyclops, who, as long as you have enough cards in hand, can take care of some of the thaumaturges, but even when you get to mid-late game, Cyclops can really help out. Your forwards aren't all that big at times, and Cyclops can help with that. Okay, now let's go over some of the backups. Starting off with King of Bermesia, EX Burst, Dragoon Searcher for all those Dragoon lovers. Palestinian is a Dragoon, so yeah, that definitely works. Next up we got Echo, Steiner, Echo, whichever one you want to do it. You'll be able to kind of smooth out your backup and forwards that way. Next up we got Artemisian. There's times where you want to dig deep to find the things that you need, and Ovilia being one of the cards that is really great with your deck. So Artemisian is going to be able to get your EX Burst back at the bottom, dig deep and find all the forwards, let's say. Trade your backups into forwards, hopefully draw into them as you put cards at the bottom of your deck and draw some more. Okay, next up we got Brawn. You really want to get those Vikings into your break zone early. That way you can start your whole Layla Vikings shenanigans, and Brawn is one way to do it. As I mentioned earlier, Assassin is another possible target for Brawn. Next up we got Red Mage as a one of. The haste, you might not need it too early, but when you get to mid-late game sometimes, a Red Mage activation can make all the difference in the game. Next up we got Sage. In case you had to discard cards that you didn't really want to, don't worry too much about it. You'll be able to get them right back with Sage, unless it's a summon, obviously, because summons don't count as characters. They're summons, obviously, but all your forwards and backups can come back with Sage. Next up we got Gortanna to search out for all those wonderful knights that you have, from Steiner, Beatrix to Ramza. All of those powerful forwards that you have, parts of your engines as well, they'll be just at your fingertips. Okay. Next up we've got Scholar. So if you have enough cards in hand, you play the Scholar first turn. You keep enough cards and you'll place, let's say, 2 thaumaturges. Guess what? There comes a point where you can pop both thaumaturges with a Scholar break. Ovilia giving you all your knights that plus 1000 power boost. That's just awesome. The fact that you have a way to give so many of your forwards plus 1000 power across multiple elements is great. And last but not least, we got Sid of Clan Goalie. Sometimes you want that Ilua special, and he'll be able to get you there. Or sometimes you just want a regular Ilua to just go in for the win when you kind of clear out their board, and he'll be able to help you. So hopefully you like this deck. It was very fun watching it play out. Taylor Stanhke is a great guy. If you haven't watched him before, he actually commentated for the 2017 North America Championship last year. And great guy, great deck, very fun to play. You guys should give it a try. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to add them down below. Please subscribe if you like what we do. And if you do subscribe, or if you have subscribed before, we are going to do a giveaway when we get to 800 subscribers. And some of the things that are available right now are, let's see what I got still. Well, some of them are leftovers from previous giveaways that nobody's claimed. So we've got a Horizon Canopy from Modern Masters, I think it was. As well as a Mox Opal from, was it Dominaria? We also have some Cactuar sleeves. It's a 60 pack, so you're able to just put all your cards in there. We have a Lightning plushie, yay! And last but not least, for the people that couldn't make Toronto before, the Shiva deck box from Toronto that was signed by Taru Kageyama. So that's one of the producers of the wonderful game that we're playing, Final Fantasy, the trading card game. So hopefully, if you like what we do, feel free to subscribe, and we'll catch you guys next time.